Yeah, so we got a new trailer for Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, and it's 5.5 minutes long, and there's a lot of stuff in there, like a lot of takeaways. So, without any further ado, I wonder if we should just open this up and break it down. And so, what we're gonna do, if you're listening on podcast form, which 99% of you are, you could definitely follow along with us. I'm going to try and just visualize everything we're watching, give you timestamps and in the trailer, stuff like that. So if you don't have the ability to watch it live, you can try and follow us later. Or if you want to, pull up YouTube, pull up Zelda Dungeons YouTube. We're going to have the whole episode just uploaded right on there with video as well. So you can kind of follow along and see, what we're looking at as well. So I'm excited about this. And I guess without any further ado, we should, I don't know, we should just get going.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, here we go. And let's start this trailer off with a classic. Love it. There we go. The purple stuff is spreading everywhere. And there's our boy, the King of Hyrule.
Scary. I need to know his name. His full name.
So I've paused
His
this
full name.
at 14 seconds. So our King of Hyrule is a noble man. He's about to get swallowed by the, all the stuff, which we'll talk about in a second here. And he throws Zelda out of the way valiantly, sacrificing himself in order to have Zelda save or fight for another day. So, yeah, you know what? I imagine this is probably the beginning of the game, like right after the thing with Ganon and Link and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Good to see the king doing, sticking up for his
people.
What a guy.
I like what Corey said, because the king always has like this long kind of ridiculous name. I really do want to know what this guy's name is.
I don't know what it is.
Romulus Hyruleus or I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Let's keep going here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hyruleus.
There he goes. He's sinking in, and all these other putzes just run right in, trying to get him.
I love that they walk right into it.
You can see them turning all gray too.
Yeah, they turn to they like freeze and turn gray.
Yeah.
And they have like really like a weird clunky movement as they fall into the abyss.
In search of Link and the King of Hyrule.
In search of Link and the King of Hyrule. Let me pause it right here at 41 seconds. Let me ask you guys something. I had someone in, I believe it was our Omega Metroid Discord server, kind of complaining about the blurriness around the borders of the bottom there. And I have to admit, I had never noticed it or heard of this. I guess this is done to simulate like depth perception, but more so in 3D or like first-person shooter or 3D like action adventure games. Have you guys ever heard of that before?
I mean,
They did.
To me, I don't know if it's like something they're doing on purpose, but to me, it made me focus on the purple goo
portal.
and the little light spot,
Yeah.
not Zelda walking up to it. So I think they do it on purpose, so you focus on a certain spot until they focus the rest of the image.
Yeah, it's definitely intentional.
If I'm not mistaken, they did that in Link's Awakening.
They did
remake as well.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I can't say I noticed it, but I thought Link's Awakening looked great. So a couple of people were just commenting on it. So I thought I'd bring it up. So another thing about this image, obviously, that is important is and I think we probably assume this, but it looks like there's going to be like designated warp points where you can go into the still world.
Mm-hmm.
Nice to have a name, by the way, for like the purple like silent realm kind of thing here. The still world. I like it.
I do too. I like that it's something a little different than what we're used to, instead of like Silent Realm or the Dark World,
I like it. Oh, so here we go. So Tri is the key to everything here. So Tri is making that still world thing a portal. And that's how we enter the still world. So hold on a sec. Let's pause at this great art right here, because there's a few things that I want to point out. First and foremost,
this is so sweet.
Zelda looks awesome. She looks like she's mad.
This is my first time noticing something.
I think I noticed the second thing that we want to point out here. They're Lionels, baby.
There's Lionels. That was my first time noticing it, and they look like the Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom Lionels. And he's even holding one of their regular weapons.
They don't look like that one. They don't look like this classic one right here.
Looks like
they don't look like that
I was
guy.
just pointing out.
Yeah.
Looks like a scary guy for sure. Definitely like a mix. I think not quite like Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild, but like a mix of that and like then when they showed up in Link to the Past, I think it looks really good. Really good.
And the castle in the background is making that shine that happens in Breath of the Wild too when Zelda's in there. So I don't know, is there something going on in the castle in the still world as well? Like, is Link in there, or
could be?
There might be.
I love Zelda's face in this image. She looks so determined, and she's like, "I'm gonna f some things up in here."
She looks like she will not be truffled with for sure. And there's a bunch of
like
houses floating around, and then the castle floating around. So it's like it kind of seems like the still world like just sucks up like portions of the land, and they just kind of float around in a vacuum or something like that. But this is a cool piece of artwork.
Right at the corner of the word world, there's like this little blobby guy.
Yeah.
That we'll see some of them later in the trailer, but they look to be some sort of like still world enemy that creates these like weird shadow creatures. Because that Lionel is all purple, which I'm sure you noticed, but you see a bunch of those kind of enemies that are like these weird purpley still world versions of enemies we know.
All right. Well, let's keep going here. Let's see what else we got as we navigate the still world.
This is
the looks so cool.
This does look
so cool. The pillar of light where the portal like comes down into is really pretty.
Oh, let's pause here for a quick second. So, Corey, you're right. There's another purple blobby guy floating around right here. Looks like we got somebody just floating up, and like I don't think people wrecked. Yeah, it's like they're not stone, but they're frozen somehow. Very unsettling. You know what this reminds me of?
Go ahead.
Have you ever played Batman Arkham Asylum?
Oh no.
This reminds me of the Scarecrow,
Scarecrow.
Dream. Yeah, like when he's got Batman in that funky haze or whatever. Like this looks creepy. What were you gonna say, Al?
If you ever played Pokemon.
What I was gonna say is like when I first watched this trailer, and I noticed it when I first watched the other trailer that came out a couple weeks ago, is like how interesting the music is because it's so different. It's not like exact tunes that we've heard before. So the music in this trailer, where you're in the still world, is so like just like jointed and creepy, and it reminded me of Ganondorf's theme from Tears of the Kingdom, like just that weird creepy.
Oh yeah, okay, the breakdown part.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for the music in this game because I feel like we're gonna hear so many new things compared to like the recycled stuff that we're used to.
Yeah.
This world also, if you ever played Pokemon Platinum, this gives huge distortion world vibes. Oh. It's almost exactly like it's purpley. There's weird landscapes that are like twisted and weird gravity and stuff. Very similar.
Okay.
It's got this unsettling kind of feeling, almost like, I mean, I think it's probably drawing inspiration from like the Silent Realms from Skyward Sword, but in those ones that you can move around with, where the whole area just feels creepy. It looks really cool. Let's keep going here.
Swallowed up by the rifts float in the void.
They kind of petrify and can't move anymore.
Vanish completely. Exploring the
eventually fade away.
World is no easy feat.
So let's pause for a quick second there. This is probably not the biggest news in the world, but Zelda can jump. And it doesn't look like you need Rock's Feather in order to have Zelda jump. I don't know if we've seen that in a trailer before, but it stuck out to me here because obviously there's floating
she's
stuff.
Been jumping.
Yeah,
that actually makes me think, like, it looks like you could easily fall off. So it looks like this is almost incorporating like some platforming elements, which is kind of cool.
Which I love. I love that.
I wonder if it's like a button that you press to jump, or if you just go to the edge and she jumps. I'm not too sure because when I first saw this trailer as well, they just ran up and I was like, "Ooh, is that like? Do you press the jump button or?"
I think it is I think it's a mechanic because you can see in other parts of this trailer and other trailers when she's jumping on tops of the trees, she's just like jumping at will from one tree to another tree.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, let's keep going here.
Zelda will have to traverse eerie floating
some of these things are sideways too, which I think is going to be really fun and really cool. They just absolutely love this bed. If they can show off this bed, they're going to show off this bed.
Best Echo. S-tier Echo, the bed.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let's just rewind there really quickly. So pausing at 144, and this is what I think everybody was hoping to hear. Massive dungeons can be found in the still world. That is what I'm talking about.
I love the how it when you walk in and it gives you the name of the dungeon. It has it both like in English and then in Hylian down below. Like,
yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
That's neat.
One thing that I noticed about these dungeons, and now my memory is failing me. I can't remember if Link's Awakening did this or not, but the dungeons like scale, like they move as you move as well. Like where at least obviously in like the original 2D games, of course, you would go into a room, enter, and then your screen would shift over, go to the other side. I think Link's Awakening did this in a couple spots, but not all spots. And
yeah,
so
for
obviously
like the
looks
big
like the same
rooms
thing.
that take in multiple screens. They did.
Yeah, just looks really cool. Like we got some, I don't know who these guys are, but they look menacing. They almost look like not Dark Knots, but some kind of evil looking knight with a big axe.
Giant axe.
Giant axe. So let's keep going here.
I also noticed at the beginning of the dungeon was one of those teleportation waypoints.
Yeah.
So it looks like you can teleport back easily.
So obviously it looks like you kind of got the same Link's Awakening idea here, where there's going to be some portions that are the 2D, which I actually always have really loved in Zelda games. Like I think that's really fun and unique too, because like there's not very many of them that do this. So I'm looking forward to these little challenges. Looks like we got a classic light the torch puzzle going on here.
Puzzles that stand in her way.
Yeah, I think it's definitely got to be a jump mechanic too.
Challenging bosses who await her arrival.
I love
Challenging bosses. Here we go.
Interesting ways you
baby.
can do puzzles, and then the boss fights.
Here we
That's
go.
that guy, that golem guy we've been seeing for a while.
Yeah. So he has, I feel like I'm always a little bit torn about this. Like, on one hand, I really like that, like, his bottom is lit up so that you know exactly where to attack. Sometimes, though, I do feel like it can be a bit much. I think in the trailer, as we'll see later, there's also some fairly obvious, like, glowing points where you need to hit. So, all in all, like, very, 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 very minor nitpick there. But sometimes I do wish that it was just kind of a little bit more ambiguous.
At least it's not a giant eyeball that pops out of his butt.
Yeah.
Well, that remains to be seen, I guess. But yeah, you're right. It could be worse. It could always be worse.
Yeah.
And again, so a couple different ways, as we'll talk about here in a second. A couple different ways you could fight this boss. Looks like we're using a rope right now, the snake rather, to fight him. We've got some moblins. I'm really looking forward to just schmucking around with some of these echoes and seeing some of the different ways that you could defeat these bosses. And by the way, absolutely perfect. This game loves this bed. It loves this bed. You could just put the bed on the ground, take a nap, and you've regenerated all of your health. Amazing. Amazing.
That's sweet.
I don't know why. That just like when I first saw the trailer, actually, I was just like, I thought they were just being cheeky and just being like, Zelda's taking a nap while all these moblins are doing all the work. But no, like you're actually healing yourself. It's really clever. Like I don't know. I'm very charmed by this. Let's keep going here. So we're at about 2 minutes and 20 seconds.
The still world can be accessed through rifts scattered across Hyrule.
Ooh.
And each entry point leads to a
This looks okay. So pausing here at 2:28, we're taking a quick look at the still world again, and it looks like there's definitely some platform sections here where like things are kind of 2D, 3D. You know what? It looks like Mario Galaxy, like a lot.
Yeah, I did. I think Nico said that.
Yeah,
Nico mentioned that. It does give like the weird gravity galaxy vibes with different elements.
Good observation, and that's not a bad game at all to draw from, because like Mario Galaxy is one of the most fun games I've ever played. Yeah, like all these sections here, like even rewinding back a little bit further to 2:25, like, and we saw this earlier in one of the earlier trailers, but like you can get in like a pillar of water and like swim your way up, and like this looks like there's blocks of water everywhere. Very cool stuff.
It looks like it says environments vary with each rift, so maybe like each region on regular Hyrule will have a different rift that you can go into. So like obviously Elden Volcano area.
Yeah.
And I wonder
it's
if
probably
like
stuff.
I wonder if the dungeons themselves are just in the still world. Is that what we're assuming?
I think so. That's kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah.
A couple cool things going on. Look at this, Zelda. You can move that big rock with bind. Is it bind or bond?
Um,
it's bind and reverse bond,
yes,
or bond and reverse bind, and that makes
one of
no
those.
sense to me.
I know they have
No,
it.
it
They
is
have it
it they
switched.
they do change it, which I don't understand, but
Hmm.
Oh boy. Um,
yeah.
well, anyways, I love that you can reverse bind or bond or like this big rock underwater. Again, very
On
cool
her
stuff.
adventure, Zelda must
Look at that
overcome
contraption.
dungeons within the rifts
I'm so
and
excited
the
for the puzzles in this
mysteries
game.
they
Like that
hold.
looks like a cool puzzle right
Without
there.
Link or the king,
Look
Hyrule's
at
fate rests
hold on,
squarely in
let's go back and look
Zelda's
at those guys
hands.
there. There's something not quite right about these guys here.
They hold.
Um,
Without
look at
Yeah,
look at that. What is that? A Gibdo?
They look like redeads to me.
Yeah, I think they look like redeads. They look like those weird still world version redeads.
Hmm.
Very creepy.
Yeah, they look like the Wind Waker redeads.
Yeah. Ugh. Just very very creepy stuff here. But you're right, Corey. It looks like these redeads are like the purple-ified ones that maybe that blob thing has created, rather than
Yeah.
like a standard redead. Creepy. Let's keep going.
Link or the
Um,
king, Hyrule's fate rests
Yeah,
squarely
this is
in
just some
Zelda's
classic good
hands.
dungeon stuff right here. You know what? I have to say I'm really looking forward to playing like a classic dungeon again. It's been a while since we played a classic new dungeon.
Do you mind if we pause and go back? I'm a couple seconds behind,
Of course.
but if you go back to the water section where she's getting lifted up by the geyser, you can see in the background, if you look closely, there are those like 5 squares that each have a different outline color, and if you look, they each have a line that's going along the walls to a different part of the dungeon.
Right.
That makes me think you got like some sort of Great Bay Temple, get the
Yeah.
water flowing
Oh,
here type
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
kind
see.
of.
And that, like you're saying, like I think this is gonna have a lot of inspiration from Link's Awakening classic style dungeons, but because of the mechanics and the way you can solve puzzles, I think it's gonna be a sweet hybrid of like Link's Awakening classic style, but like big scale dungeon altering puzzles,
Yeah.
like we see in like Tears of the Kingdom and stuff.
Hmm.
And it's funny too. Like I wonder if like maybe the next Zelda game uses these style of dungeons as kind of like you're small contained, you have puzzle kind of dungeons, but you have freedom in order to like do a
Yeah.
lot of these puzzles however you'd like.
Exactly.
Funny, Grezzo showing Nintendo the way. Have we been officially? I don't think they have officially confirmed yet that it's Grezzo that's making this game, but clearly it is. But it's definitely the same engine as Link's Awakening. It looks like everything is the same. But yeah, so very cool observation. And by the way, the aesthetic of that dungeon too just looks really cool.
Hmm.
Oh yeah.
Now here we go. Sword fighter form is indeed
Oh, baby.
revealed. And I have seen a lot of opinions in the last couple of days since this trailer came out about sword fighter form. And I am excited to see where you guys stand on it. First and foremost, well, actually, let's just let the trailer roll here for a second. So it looks like Zelda is able to pick up
Zelda finds and picks up a mysterious
a mysterious sword. I was about to say the Master Sword, but I don't know if that's actually true. It's a mysterious sword.
Yeah. I'm sword.
So when Zelda does that, it looks like you activate something called sword form or sword whatever we call it, sword fighter form. Basically, so we had kind of been hypothesizing that you might be able to summon Link as an Echo, and it looks like they're taking it one step further. You can transform basically into Link, and there's only a certain amount of time that you have in order to stay in this form, which I think is probably good. I don't know how I feel about this actually. I don't know. On one hand, like, yes, I definitely do want at least the option to fight traditionally in some specific scenarios. As much as I do want to use echoes, and I do, but like I can just imagine that there are some times where it's just like, I wish I just had a sword just for this one super quick thing. So I like that it's included there. But I also do kind of wonder, like I know me, and I'm like, am I just gonna spam this and use it all the time and like kind of not use the echoes like I think the game intends me to? It's like I think it's, no pun intended, kind of a double-edged sword to like have this in the game where like I think that it's cool that this is an option, but I do hope that it's like very sparingly used, or like they limit you in how you can use this. And I saw a couple people, I mean even Rod Rod was like, I wish I could just play with the sword all the time. And like, I get that, but I kind of think like, I don't know, like, I don't think that since this game is you're playing as Princess Zelda, like, I don't feel like it should play like a game where you play as Link. And the sword fighter form, I mean, basically turns Zelda into Link. I mean, she's even wearing a green tunic, for goodness sake. So I feel like I'm a little bit divided on this.
Cool.
What do you guys think?
I would say initially when I saw the sword fighter form, I thought the same as you, where I was like, oh, well, I feel like this kind of takes away from using the echoes to solve problems, solve puzzles, do some fighting. But then I saw the mechanic that they have for it, that it's timed, that it has like a little energy bar, like a stamina bar, that you could only get the energy from the still world, which we'll see in the trailer in a bit. And so that immediately took away any worry that I had about it, because it's more like using a weapon, or like the master sword. You get the master sword in Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, it runs out of energy, so you can't just spam using it. You get to use it when you feel like you need it, or use it whenever you want, and then loses energy. You use your other weapons until Master Sword regains energy. That's how I see this, and therefore I actually really am excited about this compared to when I initially saw it, when I was a little worried. So I think it's actually going to be fine. All your worries are not going to be as bad as you think.
Well, I'm on
the same page as Al, actually, because that was one thing that was kind of sticking in my head once I started to see like echoes are going to be used a lot in combat, and I was like, that seems cool. It seems like there's a lot of fun, creative, almost puzzly ways that you can take out an enemy. But in my head, I was like, but how's it going to feel playing a Zelda game and not being able to slash a sword at some enemies? Because that's such a staple.
Right.
And I was curious to see how I would feel about the combat, and I was kind of hesitant. Like, I'm sure I'll like the echoes. It might just take some getting used to. But I agree that incorporating it in this way, and I've also seen some criticism of like, why even do the timed thing? What's the point? I feel like that is a great way to implement it, because like Al said, it's not something, I think that is specifically there, that time limit, so that you don't just rely on the sword.
Yeah.
Which kind of forces you to use this new creative gameplay element that they added with the echoes. And it's almost kind of like a failsafe, because, for example, think of like in Tears of the Kingdom, a big element of that game was building constructs and fusing stuff together to build your own cool contraption to solve a puzzle, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of times there are some people that just they can't come up with that stuff on their own. So they might come to a puzzle and be like, I don't know how I could solve this with my stuff. Mm-hmm. A lot of times in those moments, that game will provide elements. They'll put like a glider next to you, or they'll put like a fire hydrant next to you, stuff that's there in the overworld to kind of hint at you, hey, maybe you could use this stuff. And I feel like this is almost like that, where if you come to a point in combat where you're like, I don't know how I could use my echoes to fight this boss or fight this enemy,
right,
let me just use the sword then. And then, like you said, there's that little bar which actually has a level on it. So it seems like you'll be able to upgrade it, which is kind of cool. If you really like using the sword, maybe you're just like, yeah, let me go out of my way to upgrade this as far as I can, because I like using the sword so much, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I totally get what you guys are saying. And I think you're right. Like, I do think you guys are right. Like, if it's a matter of like, I would always say like, have both and the player can decide. I guess I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I did kind of want to experience this game a little bit of a different way. And like, I guess I'm just kind of like, I know that I have the option to use all these echoes, but if I have a sword, like, am I going to use, you know what I mean? Like, and maybe that's just a me problem, but I was kind of like, okay. I wasn't sure if I was like completely sold on it or not. Let's keep going here, and let's see what else you could do here. And Zelda does look very, very cute. She's got the classic tunic on, which is very charming.
I think it's really important that you use it mostly in the still world, because that's where the energy is, and it looks like you can do stuff to that purple goo in the still world. So I feel like that's where you want to use it the most.
And I would imagine that you probably are using this mostly in dungeons, which also makes sense that those dungeons are just going to be in the still world. You're absolutely right, though. It looks like you can upgrade your, I don't know, your sword fighter meter, whatever it's going to be. I would actually wonder if there's like almost a heart piece or something like that, or like hidden collectibles that you can find on the
Yeah, there
overworld
must
map.
be.
Must be.
There must be.
Yeah, I'm certainly not against it, but it did kind of catch me off guard, and I think it was the outfit because I think I was just like, it's Link, Zelda, but
She
Link.
looks so cool.
Yeah, like what's
I mean,
She also
it
has
is-
kind of
it
like
is
some
Link.
Fi aesthetic going on with the blue skin
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, a
I
little,
like that
yeah.
too.
I like it.
It did look like Link, but then when you really, I mean, it is Zelda. It's just she's in Link's outfit now, and I love it. I think
It's
that's
so
really
cute. I love it.
It is cute. Yeah, I'll definitely say that it is cute. However,
Oh my gosh, they could come out with like a Zelda sword fighter amiibo with like the blue skin and
Yes!
stuff. That would
That'd be
look
so cool.
good.
I'm surprised we haven't seen any amiibo news yet.
me neither,
Yeah,
actually.
That is pretty wild.
It's September.
Maybe they were
1st.
waiting to reveal this stuff. Actually,
Maybe.
I mean,
That's
Zelda
now they
herself
have
has
Zelda
to
in
have
different
at least
outfits.
one amiibo. I saw
yeah.
that the Link's Awakening amiibo, and I think the Toon Zelda are getting reprinted. So there's got to be some sort of amiibo functionality here. I would imagine, but yeah, like what's going on? Where's the Zelda amiibo? Where's the Ganon amiibo? Oh, that's what I really want. And I want an amiibo. If Zelda's gonna dress like Link, I need Link to dress like Zelda as well. We need that amiibo too.
Okay, you had that in
Yeah.
Triforce Heroes. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
true.
but
That is
that
true.
art style, no bueno.
Okay.
No bueno. All right, let's keep going here. We are at 324 of the trailer, and Zelda has just reverted back into her normal form.
I like the little swirly energy with the little curly cues
Yeah,
from the
the-
sword.
The sword's
Yeah.
gauge can be replenished.
Okay, so indeed, you do need to collect energy to refill the
by
gauge,
collecting energy found in the still
and you can only find it in the
Be
still
sure to
world.
grab any you find.
There you go. Looks like it refills a decent amount of sword fighter gaugeness. Inhabitants of
but if you
Hyrule.
level-
Here we go.
If you level it up, it'd probably take way more energy, huh?
Maybe.
Did you notice that the music for this sounded very Robbie-like?
It does. It does.
yes.
Extravagant creation.
So it looks like our man Dompe has got a new job. He has left the graveyard behind. He received a new offer, and now he builds things. He builds machines. He builds doohickeys, and that seems like another way that you could fight. So these aren't echoes necessarily, but they're little machines that you can use. I mean, for all intents and purposes, basically the same thing as echoes. But I don't know. I think this is kind of
Automaton.
cool.
They can be activated by winding
Yeah,
Look at-
pretty neat.
look at
Kinda
that.
Like unique echoes that you can use in fun combat ways.
Yeah, like little bombs and just.
I love the little musical notes just attacking the Wolfos.
Yeah.
They'll break apart if they
I
take
don't.
too much
Something
damage.
about Dompe, like we've always seen Dompe as just this weird, creepy gravedigger, and now all of a sudden he's upgraded. He's a mechanic. He's an engineer now.
He
Went to
deserves it.
school. He got his degree.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
our
good for Dompe.
man has been working nights
Oh.
since 1998.
Where
you
you-
know, like
Where you're paused right now, by the way, I want to point out that little enemy with the hands up. That's from the original, or that's from Link's Awakening DX. That's like one of those color dungeon enemies.
Oh, okay.
good
I
snipe.
did think
You're
he looked
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
those guys are cool.
Hey, you know what? Always a nice little homage to throw in there. Yeah,
love
I
how
paused it because I thought he
colorful
just looked
the
like
game
kind of
is.
creepy and slimy and gooey and you know.
I love all the colors in this game, how vibrant it is. I
Yeah.
know Link's Awakening was too, but I feel like there's difference here in like it's just there's so many different color gradients and stuff, and I just love it. I feel like this is gonna be such a I know it's like an adventure kind of puzzle game, but I feel like it's gonna be really cozy.
Well, let's keep going.
Any other
Look at this.
quirky character-
Look at these guys here. A new recruit. Looks like I swear I've seen this guy in the Zelda series before, but where? I can't remember now. Looks like we got some wrestling going on here, though. That's what it looks like to me. Little Twilight
Yeah.
Princess, sumo wrestling?
Yeah.
Anybody? Yeah.
It looks like a little
yeah.
a little maybe tribe or club or gang because they have these little symbols, the little devil with horns on his headband and on the pillow.
You're right. I didn't notice that. Good,
Mhm.
good snipe there. A
Little
little sword in
society.
the background, too.
Mhm.
Oops. All right, let's keep going.
during your travels.
Who's this guy? I wonder if this is a fast travel point because there's little doohickey that he's landing on. It looks like so we're paused at 422. Looks
Yeah, I don't
like
know
we
what
got
this dude's deal is.
he's got like some sort of paraglider. You know, I was walking my dog yesterday and I
Oh.
saw this almost exact thing. like this almost exact like kite. It was like a kite basically, but it was like a yellow like kind of. And somebody was like, I don't know how to describe this, but somebody was like almost like using it to ski, like water ski, but they weren't on water, they were on ground. But like it was so windy that they were like getting lifted up a little bit. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you know what I'm talking about?
That's
What is that
cool.
called? Anybody know?
Paragliding.
Maybe. Yeah. It's pretty
It
cool.
might be. I think I know what you're talking about. But this, I want to talk about this guy because like we already know that those little statue things are fast travel points,
Right.
and it seems like that's going to be this game's method of fast travel, which kind of can like if I hadn't seen those and didn't know that, I might look at this guy and this little pedestal he's standing on and assume, oh, maybe this guy is our way to fast travel. Maybe he can fly us around like Irene the Witch or something like that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he has that item is making me think now, what if we get our own paraglider so that if you get to a high point with echoes or something, you can start paragliding around.
I'm down.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That
that'd be cool.
that
I
would be
think
pretty neat.
the little pedestal that he's landing on, I think the symbol kind of matches his hat, or it looks like a stamp. So I would like my brain was like, oh, we're collecting stamps, you know.
It does kind of look like a stamp, you're right. And it does kind of match his hat, but I don't know, maybe it's one of those things where like you stand on it and it like punches down and then shoots you up in the sky and then you can select your warp point or something like that.
Maybe.
See?
I don't know.
I guess. All right, let's keep going.
And there's no doubt they'll
All right, pausing again at 423. We got our classic Gerudo tribe here. Not
That's
quite
great.
Riju here, but looks like somebody's in charge. And I feel like I always really like seeing the Gerudo show up. I feel like even though they were such
They
a
look
big
awesome in
part,
the trailer.
this art style, they look fantastic. I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I like
feel
that
like they've
we're
always been
getting-
underutilized.
Yeah, for sure. And every time we see them, it's always like they have the one model for a Gerudo, and it's like the same Gerudo female over and over and over, and then a couple key characters, and you can already see that they have like some different designs for Gerudo characters, and they look excellent.
They look great.
So yeah, I'm glad to see them, and we don't have
The
to.
architecture and their like clothing style is very Breath of the Wild, very Tears of the Kingdom.
Look at this guy. So pausing it at 425. We have got
this guy
a Goron, and I believe. No, I was gonna say this is the first time a Goron's been in a 2D game. That's a lie. They were Minish Cap. However, look at this Goron, man. He's
In
got
the Oracle games.
and the Oracle games. He's got a red mustache. He's got red dew. He's got a hot tub in his
Yeah, this guy
pad.
rocks.
It's awesome. He's talking about fireworks. So you're probably gonna set some fireworks off. This guy's awesome. Very cool character. I want to learn more about him for sure.
princess.
Oh, and a cat.
Oh, it looks like
Love those
Loki.
cats.
Oh, I love it. Do we get to pet it? That's important. Do we see her pet the cat?
Let's play. We're at
Maybe we get to
427.
make an echo of it.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be great, actually. Okay, the next couple seconds here are crucial. Do we pet the cat or do we fade away? We fade away.
Fade
And
away.
there is the fairy fountain. And were there
Great
fairies
fairies.
in Lake's Awakening
Cool.
now? I can't remember.
Yeah,
Did they look like this?
there's at least one.
Yeah, I don't.
They look a little the fountains look similar, but the fairy in Link's Awakening has like black hair and like a black ponytail.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She
It-
would have
it
given you the
kinda looks
boomerang. That's
similar,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that this looks pretty cool.
Beautiful.
And so we're fading to white, getting our little recap here. Oh, that blob monster is attacked, and it looks like the blob monsters are just everywhere, fighting Zelda in the overworld. Let's
They
pause
pop
here
out
for a
of
quick
the,
second.
The void.
Have we seen this area yet? So at 442, Zelda is definitely trapped in a snowy area somewhere, and I don't know where that. I mean, it makes sense maybe up in a mountain somewhere, but have
Yeah,
we
I
seen
don't
this
think-
area on the
So-
map?
No, well, I don't know about the map, but you know how in the last trailer they were like, "Hey, this is like the Jaboon area. Here's the Elden area, whatever." But they didn't show us this, so
So we've been on the YouTube, if you've watched some of our other videos, we've been kind of theorizing about this location because if you look on the map, obviously it's the same world or map of like Link's Awakening, Link Between Worlds, or not Link's Awakening, Link to the Past, Link Between Worlds. Normally, Death Mountain is up at the top, but on this map, The mountain that's in the northwest is the one that's all magma-y and hot and fiery and stuff. But there
Huh.
is still a mountain range to the north, so we're thinking that's probably where this is.
Mm.
And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, maybe we'll get some like a different race here. Like, what if they bring back Anukis
Ooh,
or
a
something?
Nuki,
God,
yes,
that'd be
Or a
I think
new
it
awesome.
would
ice
look
race or
so
something.
good in this
It would look
style.
so good in this art style, yeah.
I love that.
I think
Oh, I'd be
this is
so
one of those
excited.
case. It's a very rare case, but a case where I'd rather instead of something new, bring back something old. Like
I swear
I'd
to
pop
God,
for the Anuki.
Get those
if
Anukis in
Anuki
there.
showed up, I'd scream just like when I saw likes in Tears of the Kingdom, and I like
Oh,
screamed.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would do the same for Anuki.
I feel like that'd be fun too because they could probably bring back the concept of like one of us is lying, one of us is telling the truth. Like that, you know what? Say what you will about the DS games, but I thought that that was like a highlight of both games, just trying to suss out
Yeah.
who was
They're so
giving you the right
goofy.
information.
Yeah, they're really
Maybe you
goofy.
can make an echo of one of them, and you have to make an echo to show the tribe leader who the imposter is or something.
Book
Now
'em.
we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Okay, let's keep going here. We're at 442. By the way, look at that. Let's pause at 444 really quickly. I can't remember, but have we seen Zelda just like jump in the water and swim before this? And not that that was like a thing that I didn't think that we'd be able to do, but it's I don't know. It's just still kind of nice to
Yeah,
see her just dive
yes.
in.
I remember we did because you were like, the water looks so crisp and so
The
good.
water
I
looks
remember.
awesome in this game. It
Yeah.
looks beautiful. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
looks fantastic.
Nintendo makes sick water.
There's
Oh,
there's
there's
those
that bed
beds again. These beds are just gonna be like your go-to echo. It's gonna be like having the Ocarina of Time in the top corner on your left C button. I love it. Oh, the classic
Oh
classic
my
Kuko is
God.
back. Gotta love that. Sucker for the classics. Like that.
I love this part where she pops out of the pot.
What a great. We need a gif of that.
So
Just like boop bloop.
That's very Wind Waker. That's very like hiding
Yep.
in the
Yeah.
Mhm, and the
in the
barrels, yeah.
barrels.
Yeah, very, very Forsaken Fortress, and hopefully there's a stealth segment or two in this game. I quite like my stealth segments in Zelda games a lot, so yeah, that's really cool. We gotta watch that one more time. Actually, hold on. That's good stuff. So Zelda is now in the swamp, and she's carrying a choo-choo, and this thing looks like it is about to explode. So that's kind of neat. I love the man. This just looks like fantastic too. Like just the little parrots and all like it just,
Oh,
this
the
looks
place
awesome.
where you pause. The place where you pause, there's a little singing frog on the stump.
Yes, I saw that too. It looks like the singing frogs from uh Ocarina of Time, but it also kind of looks like the enemy frog from Majora's Mask.
I think
Yeah,
he
the
sings.
gecko or whatever.
Yeah, he's gonna be a good guy. I can feel it. I can feel it.
On a journey to traverse and save Hyrule, Princess
Some
Zelda's
some
most
mini games here, of course. Oh, and there we go. We've got. I'm just gonna call it like Volvagia. Like looks like him.
Yep,
But
that's
the
what I
only thing
thought.
I don't love is he's got the
so
green
cool.
eyeball right in his jowls there, where obviously you need to hit him. Other than that, it looks pretty
Andy,
cool.
okay, this game is not just for you, it's also for kids. They need a little help sometimes.
I'm not saying that it's terrible. I'm just saying
Make the
if it
kids
was up to
suffer.
me,
They don't need help.
if it was up to me, I would just have it, just a little more innocuous. That's all. But you know what? That's
Just
still
figure
really
it
cool.
out yourself.
Yeah. There's only one way to get better, Al.
Get good?
How are
I-
these kids gonna learn if they just know slash the green eyeball?
I say this as I've bought Castlevania Dominus Collection. I'm using the rewind feature like over and over and over and over again.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what I do in those games too.
undertaking this adventure.
Yeah, just that was close. Man, this game looks so awesome. I am so excited. I think every piece of footage we've seen so far has just been absolutely spectacular, and we got a little post-credit scene coming up here as well.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, there he is. Link is possessed
Oh.
by the still
Scary.
stuff. I don't know what it is, but it's obviously that's a real Link too. It's not a duplication of Link.
Mm-mm, it's not like the purple
yeah.
purple still
That's very
world
scary.
version.
I mean, I think you're pretty much. I'd be surprised if you did not have to fight Link at some point in this game. Like that seems like it's going down.
I
Yeah,
get
he
the sense
jumps
that
at Zelda. That's so scary.
I get the sense that there could very well be like at some point in the late game, like you have to separate Link from whatever this.
Yeah.
It's always like some evil purple dark energy, but I
Hmm.
could I could see like like a dark version, a still version of Link coming out of this Link, and you have another like Shadow Link battle type thing.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I could see that too. It definitely seems like you're fighting some sort of Link. Like I could see, yeah, you're fighting almost like the Twilight Princess ending sequence where like you have to fight Link but like not damage him necessarily, and then you fight whatever's possessing him, and then you kind of go on. I could see this like being one of the final pieces of the game actually, although maybe not because I don't think that they put that in the trailer. If it was, maybe I could be wrong.
I mean, when you think about trailers they've done for Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, like the final trailer, they usually put a lot of story in it, and you
They
find
did
out
do
later
some
you're
of
like,
that.
wow, they put like every element of the story in this trailer.
You know what? Actually,
This
just
kind of just
taking
looks like a cutscene too, so I could just see this happening at any point
Yes,
in
I'm
the
gonna
game.
I'm gonna go
maybe
That's
back
all
on
I'm
what I
saying.
said.
midway.
I think this is the beginning of the game because I think this is the same room where you pick up the mysterious sword because this is the same stone slab that's right beside it.
Well, but she runs
Yeah,
away from the
it
goop
does look like it.
It
because the goop grabs Link and grabs Ganon, and then she runs away from it.
it's definitely the same room. Let's go back and let's check it out. So there's the sword.
When
Um,
Zelda finds and picks up a mysterious sword,
come on,
she
Zelda.
takes on
There you go. That's the stone just moved to the side. That looks like the same thing to me. Same pots on the side as well. When if you can see them in the little thumbnail right there, it's
Yeah.
definitely the same room. So
Oh
I'm
yeah,
imagining that's
it's
actually
moved to
pretty
the
close to
side.
the start of the game.
I don't think you would get the sword that soon in the game, though. I feel like that's more of a middle of the game kind of deal.
Well, it's not end game. That's the point. I don't know. I could see this being like,
I think we'll have to see.
yeah. Well, we will have to see it, and we
Jury's
don't have
out.
long to go in order to
25
wait.
days.
25 days. You know what? This isn't part of the trailer either. However, I did see earlier today for those that care about this type of thing. This was confirmed by Nintendo over on Twitter that there is a normal difficulty and a hero difficulty mode as well. And on hero difficulty, you take 2 times damage, and there ain't no hearts. So you got to be
That's
I
how
real
love
it's very
good.
Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
That's
I
how it
love
was in
that.
Skyward Sword with their hero mode.
I hope it's
Yeah.
available straight from the start, and it's not like you have to unlock it type thing.
Hmm.
I bet you have to unlock it. If I was a betting man, I think I'd bet on that. Um, yeah, man. Every time I see more footage of this game, I just like it's got. Maybe it's just because like I am old and are painting for the classic Zelda adventures of yore. But like, man, this game just looks like it's gonna hit every single itch. Like just every single box I'm looking for. It looks like it's scratched so far. Like just. I don't know. I'm really, really excited about that game. You're right, Corey. By the way, to your point, there's a lot of icy mountains up in the back there, so that must be definitely where that scene is taking place. September
Someone tell me
26th.
why it's coming out on a Thursday.
That's a great question.
Kind of strange.
Why
Very
are
strange.
they doing that?
Well, it looks like I'm taking September the 27th off.
I don't have
Yeah,
any.
me too.
Like, well, I work 4 10s, and if I wasn't going camping in a couple weekends, I'd take the extra time and take that Thursday off. But alas,
Worth mentioning as well, and as I'm sure everybody knows, but hey, you know what? You got a Nintendo Switch Lite Hyrule Edition coming out the same day as well. So it's just a gold Nintendo Switch with the insignia, the Triforce insignia on the
Lite.
background. Looks pretty good though.
yeah.
It's pretty nice. I would almost consider getting a Nintendo Switch Lite at this way. Like, if the Switch 2 wasn't like imminent, I would consider getting one because I play 99.9% of the time handheld, and I have the OG day one Switch, so my battery life sucks.
Oh.
Exact same boat.
Yeah.
Almost all portable and day one Switch.
I am so like my gaming style is so different. I like having it on the big TV. I'd never play handheld unless I'm like at an airport or something.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have day one Switch, and I'm just waiting for the day that it kind of like dies so that I could get the Tears of the Kingdom Switch.
Well, let's hope that day doesn't come too soon. Yeah, you know what? I mean, it's September now. Like that's crazy. It's September 1st
Yes.
as we are recording this, so we are.
Yes.
I mean, 4 weeks away, less than from finally playing this game. And I do have to say, I really do appreciate the shorter release span from announcement to actually playing. It is very refreshing, compared to our last Zelda game that came out that took, basically our entire podcast history, like talking about that game. So yeah, I'm really excited about this. We're gonna have a ton of Echoes of Wisdom content going forward here. So yeah, I'm stoked. I really am.
I'm excited.
I'm really looking forward to this game.
Same.
I feel like
Yeah.
I need like a classic Zelda game to get, you know what I mean? Like just to get those mojos going, get the juices flowing, whatever analogy you want to use.
I think that makes sense for you because of how you felt about Tears of the Kingdom. I'm just excited that we're getting another Zelda game so quickly after Tears of the Kingdom because I loved it and still love it, but I know you had some mixed feelings, so you just want a Zelda game that'll like revive your love for the series.
If anybody watching us on YouTube, by the way, I'm just playing the Metroid Prime 4 trailer just because. Just because.
Oh my god, Andy.
I love that, this is the first new top-down Zelda game since A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
Which was 11 years ago.
Crazy. That is crazy to think about.
Well, it's awesome to see that there's still... I've said this a bunch on the YouTube, but, like, I feel like we are literally, like... We're in it right now. We are living the series evolving, which is so cool. Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom introduced crazy new gameplay concepts, and now we're seeing the core series evolve with those concepts, and I think this is going to be the coolest blend of classic and new stuff.
Mm-hmm. I think so too.
And we get to see how the series moves forward,
I think that's a great comment. Yeah, just kind of seeing that transition and evolution in real time. We probably take it for granted a little bit, but I mean, it's pretty exciting times and pretty exciting. So, yeah,
we're living in the future, folks.
Yeah, we're gonna look back in a couple of years after there's a bunch more 2D games that maybe have this similar style and be like, man, do you remember the first one that came out? By the way, look at that, rock riffs play with intense music, good stuff. Yeah, it's a good time to be a Zelda fan. I'm really excited for what's coming here. So September 26th, man. All right, well, just to put a bow on everything that we have talked about here, just want to let everybody know once again, next week, I ain't going to be here. And actually, I'm not going to be here the week after that either. So I'm not coming back until basically the week before Echoes of Wisdom. But we will be talking Echoes of Wisdom next week. Rod's going to come on and give us our hands-on impressions of how the game feels, how the game looks, how the game plays, all of that kind of stuff. He's going at it right now at PAX West with Echoes, so we'll have a lot of stuff for you next week about that. And then the week after next week, so 2 weeks from now, both Al and I are away, so we are going to be... we haven't decided exactly what we're going to do, but we'll have something for you. Don't worry about that. Before we get out of here, Corey, anything you want to plug? Anything you want to tell people to check out?
Yeah. Virtual Theater, podcast all about video game movies and the stories that shape them.
Oh.
Go check out the YouTube. Seriously, if you haven't, there's stuff there for everyone. It's a great time. Go check it out.
It really is. We posted a YouTube episode a month or so ago, and just because again we weren't here, or something like that, it didn't work out with our recording schedule. And I thought it was a great episode to listen to, actually, even on podcast form. So you should go check it out. Make sure that you subscribe. And hey, I mean, you can see our beautiful faces as we do this as well. Particularly for a show like today, if you're wanting to watch, because we watched a trailer while we were talking about the trailer. So it kind of brings everything together in a nice, neat little package, if you will. Yeah. All right, Al. Anything you want to plug? Any final thoughts? How you feeling about next week?
I'm excited for next week. I'm excited to see what Rod has to think about, or what Rod thinks about the the demo of the game. I'm always nervous to host the show myself. But I'll get over it. That's
You're a
fine.
star.
It'll be fine. Everything's good.
All right. Well, that being said, here we go. This is Al. You're taking notes right now, I'm sure.
Oh my god.
We are going to get out of here, my friend. So thanks for watching with us today. Again, if you want to see us react like with video, check out the YouTube page. This will be on Twitch for about a week as well before it's forever archived. So make sure that you check that out there if you need to as well. We are going to get out of here. As we mentioned at the top of the show, we have a Patreon page, and that Patreon page is patreon.com/spnet, and for only $1 you could get a bonus show, 13 bonus shows for every single Legend of Zelda cartoon episode, plus a whole bunch of other stuff there as well. Plus, we have the ZeldaCast Top 10s going on every month. And if you're a patron and you ever want to come on that show, all you got to do is say, hey, Andy, let me know if I can join you, and I will say yes. So make sure that you check that out. We also would love if you would give us a follow wherever you are over on social. We are at the ZeldaCast over on Twitter, Blue Sky, at Spiteri316, at Allison Aletha, at Corey Richmond. Give us a follow and a subscription and a like and a review and a rating and all that good stuff wherever you get your podcasts. Tell your friends where they can get their weekly Zelda fix. Check out Zelda Dungeon's YouTube page. And check out Zelda Dungeon too. We got a lot of good stuff over there. Our writing team has been killing it with all the information that's coming out lately about Echoes of Wisdom, so make sure that you're giving them some love and checking out the website. That's it, my friends. That is going to do it for this week. I will see everybody in 2 weeks, but we will be back next week live. Al and Rod are going to take you through their hands-on impressions of Echoes of Wisdom, so until then, everybody, take care.
Bye.
Hey everyone! If you enjoyed this clip and want to see more of the ZeldaCast, make sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform of choice and subscribe. There are over 200 episodes in the vault that will provide you with hundreds of hours of Zelda content for you to enjoy. You can listen to us when you're on a walk, fighting Ganon, trying to sleep, whatever. And if you want to see these shows as they happen, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/the ZeldaCast, where you can watch our beautiful faces talk about Zelda every single week. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.